Hello, Irene.
Hello, Irene.
No, you're Irene.
I'm Irene. Oh, okay. It's been a long week.
Hey, friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry.
And I'm Irene.
Today, we're doing something that I've been looking forward to all year long.
Right. We've been getting some Gardener's Delight tomatoes from the greenhouse for several weeks now.
And we ate those last year, so we know exactly what they're going to taste like.
Yeah. And they're actually one of our favorites because even though they're a tiny little cherry tomato, they have that big tomato flavor. They're an indeterminate, and they produce, until everything is frozen solid, they produce. And they produce one of the earliest, too. But yesterday and today, we were able to get 3 other types of tomatoes out of the garden for the first time.
And we haven't had these before.
No, these are all brand new varieties to us. Some of them came very highly recommended. So we're going to try them and see what we think about them.
Well, let me get over here.
Switch places.
I'm just deciding how big a tomato I want to try.
So the first one that Henry has here is called Invincible. The seeds come from Haas Tools, and it is a paste tomato. Now, we frequently grow paste tomatoes because we do a lot of tomato sauce, and not having to boil it to death in order to get a decent thick tomato sauce.
This may not be all the way ripe.
Right. No, it's fine. Got a good solid tomato flavor.
You want a little? You want salt?
Sure. Good solid tomato flavor. A lot of meatiness to it, not super watery or anything, and that's exactly what we're looking for in the paste tomato. We actually really like paste tomatoes just for eating.
I think caprese salad tonight.
Yeah, I'd vote for that. Do we have any more mozzarella?
We'll have to look.
We'll have to see if it's still alive in there.
If not, it'll be mozzarella less caprese salad. Don't spit. Okay, I'm going to do another one that is... You know what this one is?
Yeah, I just accepted when you asked me and my brain fell out. Let's see, that is Wisconsin 55.
Now, that's a commercial. We think that's a commercial.
Well, usually when they have a charming name like that, it's usually commercial. But I'm trying to remember why I bought this. It's supposed to be a heavy producer, good tomato flavor. Disease resistance.
Yeah.
It's got some good disease resistance.
You want a little bit of salt on yours?
Sure. This must have come from Totally Tomatoes, because they usually manage to sucker me into some new variety every year.
Now, the tomato flavor isn't quite as strong as the one that we just tried.
That's a good tomato, though.
It's very good.
I like that. I like that.
So far, we're batting 1,000.
Yeah, there's none of them. I mean, we had a couple last year that we kind of went, meh. But no mess yet.
Well, this is the end of this tomato. Here, you could have a small piece.
Yeah, Wisconsin 55.
Very good.
I don't remember off the top of my head what it's supposed to be resistant to, but I have it written down.
You wrote it down?
I did, in my computer. I do keep track of these things. So far, all of these plants are just absolutely full of tomatoes, so we have great hopes for a good harvest this year. We've already had a couple of hailstorms, so we're kind of trying to keep things covered up still. Makes it kind of rough, especially with indeterminates, because they're ready to take over the world, and I just really want to trellis them up. This is Bella Rosa. This is also from Haas Tools.
That's got some acidity to it.
It does.
Like a little bit of salt.
Sure, just a smidge. Good tomato flavor, different than the other ones. This came very highly recommended last year. This year they've moved on to something else. But we all do that. It just makes it hard because we always feel like we're a year behind everybody. But our goal is to find... We're happy with our cherry tomatoes. I won't say you couldn't convince us to try another one, but I don't want to buy a pack of 50 tomato seeds or even 10 tomato seeds when all I need is one plant. And so it makes it kind of hard. We're hoping that the garden club will be a solution for that, because we're going to try and get that going again. Because then you could share seeds. Or if somebody doesn't have the capacity to grow their own,
Yeah, stop talking and start drying.
I could raise their seeds into plants for them, and then, bite.
It's fresh. You can't have it spoil.
Oh, right. Is this another
Same
Rosa?
same one. Yeah. Throw a little salt.
It's interesting because all three of these that we've tried so far are all good tomatoes, but they have distinctly different flavors to them. And what will be the absolute test is how they work up in sauce and stuff like that. Because anything that's spare, that we're not actually slicing to put on a tomato sandwich, gets tossed into a bucket and used for sauce. It has to be a compatible flavor is the best way to put it. So it'll be interesting to see. I think these will all be perfectly fine.
Eat up. Don't spill on yourself. Oh, you got yourself anyway.
Yeah, I dripped water on myself before too, so. There's a towel. There it is.
You know what one this one is?
This is easy. This is the Gardener's Delight.
A little more watery than I prefer the Gardener's Delight.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've had some watering problems in there, so that's not shocking. But
Good flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we have 4 keepers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like that. In fact, I'm going to try another one.
Invincible?
Yep.
Yeah, they are just loaded with tomatoes. And they're starting to come off where you get a whole truss coming right pretty much at the same time.
You know what I have to say?
What? Eat a tomato.
Once you start eating, then I get to say something. Well, friends, we hope that you enjoyed this little taste test that we did of this year's tomato crop, at least 4 of the tomatoes that we're growing.
We have lots more.
It was pretty surprising. I don't normally expect to see 4 out of 4 tomatoes of any kind be really, really good, something I'd really want to eat, but these are really great.
Right. We didn't have any that we just plain went yucky about last year. We had one that was Alaskan Fancy that was just kind of...
Meh.
It was meh.
It was supposed to be fast, but it wasn't fast.
It was faster than many of the other ones, but not fast enough to make up for the fact that the flavor was not as bold as we would have preferred it to be. How's that for a statement? Better than your supermarket tomatoes, but not as good as we want, because we want the real heritage flavor in the tomatoes. We're picky. If we're going to spend all that water and all that time and all that effort, it's got to be good. So, yeah, we found a couple we stuck with last year. We stuck with the Gardener's Delight. We've had that for multiple years. We stuck with Granadero, which is another paste tomato, and that will be fun to test against the Invincible.
I think Invincible is going to give it a run for its money.
Well, Invincible is a determinant, so it's going to come off all pretty much at the same time, whereas Granadero is an indeterminate, so it's going to harvest for months. It'll harvest until it freezes solid. But it'll be interesting to try and sort of vaguely keep track in terms of sheer volume. You know, one of the things we're trying to do is come up with some shorter season tomatoes, because we're hoping that starting next year, some of the events that I normally attend for my business will be back in force. And that means we have to organize our harvest around those events. It's hard to count on anybody to harvest your garden for you. Take care of your garden, forget harvest it. It's hard to count on anybody to take care of your garden And then I don't want any more right now. You're feeding me tomatoes.
I'm going to eat both pieces.
Good. It's hard enough for us to find somebody who can take care of the garden and just keep it alive, much less harvest it and actually do something with the stuff. So we'll be back again with more tomato testing. Obviously, we have, let's see, I think I have one more determinate tomato, and I think maybe 3 indeterminates, or 4 indeterminates. Yeah, we usually grow close to 10 tomato varieties. I think we grew a few less this year. Last year we grew an obscene number.
Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, because
we are obviously going to be doing lots more. We're
going to be eating more tomatoes.
Lots more tomatoes, yes. Hopefully we'll have some of the, yeah, we have big beef, and I was just thinking about larger tomatoes that make good slicers. We've got a couple that make good slicers.
Amanda Orange. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It makes a great, great tomato sandwich.
Right. I don't think they have any big tomatoes on them yet. Yeah. But it'll probably happen. And they'll still be tasty even if they're not giant.
Time to go.
Yes, it is. So until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because obviously we'll be doing lots more stuff. Lots more tomato tasting for one thing. And I need to do some cucumber salad videos, because I now have 3 as part of my standard repertoire instead of just 2.
And I need to do a show on what do you do with a surplus of squash.
And not just zucchini bread.
No.
No, we actually like to eat squash as vegetables, but got to be a little creative sometimes. So until next time, bye.
Bye.